Today on The Crowded Table, we are down a man, but still committed to getting the show out to you folks.
In the night, in the night, in the night, that's when I feel alright. With the moon, with the silver moon, that's when I'm in the mood. La la la.
Oh boy,
I don't know what to do here, man.
it is an interesting day today for the Crowded Table. We are down a man.
Yeah,
We are absent of John Senning.
he's dead. He died.
He's actually dead, so he'll be gone forever. No, we are down John Senning. He is literally sick, laying asleep in his bedroom, and we are in his house recording a podcast.
I'm a little disappointed. I thought he was at least going to come out and watch, be here for moral support.
He's really dead.
Oh, yeah.
I know he took some medicine, and so we are going to try to do the show without him. And normally he leads us, and we follow, but today it will be different. I am Dennis, and with me is Jake.
Jake, hi.
And today, not to be without three people, we decided to bring in a third just to fill for John, or to fill the hole that John will leave, and that is Kevin.
And he is good at filling holes.
I'm very good at filling holes.
Now, what a lot of people don't know is Kevin, this is not his first time on the Crowded Table. This is actually his second time.
Oh, we're going to bring that up?
Yeah, I figured
Fucking assholes.
we'll get it out of the way. So it's his second time on the Crowded Table. But if you are new and maybe you just started listening within the last couple of weeks, you will never hear the original episode that Kevin was in because I deleted it.
I mean, it was some very naughty things said on there.
That's what it comes down to. What it really is I'm sort of seeing a girl right now. It's nothing official. We're definitely not boyfriend and girlfriend because I kind of had that conversation with her.
Yeah.
But I know that I've talked in the past about having, doing sexual things with other girls, but that episode was very explicit. It detailed a lot of stuff that I did with a certain girl, and I didn't want her to hear that, so I deleted it.
I thought we would just scratch the surface on that one. I didn't think it was that in depth.
Well, basically, if you guys want to hear the episode, just go ahead and email me. I have a copy. I'm fine with distributing it.
Well, that might actually be a way to do it. If people want to reach out to us, crowdedtable@gmail.com. If they really want to hear it, we can send it to them. The one person that I don't want to hear it, if she emails us, she just won't get it. Okay, so we... besides not having John, we have somewhat of an interesting show set up. We've got a full show set up.
Yeah.
So hopefully we make it through at least an hour here. If we don't and we cut it short, then it'll be just shows that were terrible.
Yeah, it is show 21, by the way.
We didn't do a shot. We talked about doing a shot before the show, and we didn't want to steal all John's booze.
We're so we procrastinate up to the very point when we have to get the show done.
It is literally 11 o'clock right now. We've started recording. I've been here since 9:30.
What the fuck have you been doing this whole time?
I don't know. You guys decided to go out. You know what? We had a smoke break before doing the show.
I don't smoke. I don't know what you're talking about.
I wanted to start at 10:45.
Dennis has this disgusting habit where he has to go out there with a Cuban cigar.
No, I probably have cancer now because for some reason I decided to go out and hang out with you guys while you smoked in front of my face.
Yeah, we blew it right directly into your nostrils.
I'm so fucking high right now. I can't.
You were smoking a cigarette. I don't think you know how getting high works. So anyways, we normally start the show off with a comment section. We don't really have any shout outs today unless we want to just shout out our moms and dads, I guess.
Ian Sharks.
Oh, Ian Sharks, yeah.
Or Ian Irish.
Yeah, we've actually given him a shout out before, so thanks, Kevin. But
I love him. So.
The other day, Kevin and I were talking to Ian, our friend from the station, who has given us a lot of feedback, and Kevin was so sure that his last name was Sharks.
No, I didn't think his last name was Sharks.
You did. You called him.
His Instagram name was Ian Sharks.
No, he has nothing to do with sharks.
He wears a shark shirt.
He enjoys Shark Week.
I'm sure he does. Who doesn't? But he does have a shirt that has sharks on it, and I guess Kevin thought that was his name.
I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
So now we just call him Sharks.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we don't really have too many shout outs, but I do have a new voicemail that we got.
Oh, yeah. Keep in mind, we have the dong line open now, folks. So
way to tell him on a recorded podcast.
Well, no, I mean, just for leaving voicemails and stuff. If you want to give us a call, leave a voicemail.
That is true. The dong line is 813-867-DONG. That is, I think,
D-O-N-O.
Well, yeah, I know I spelled dong. 3664 is, I believe, dong in phone speak, but I could be wrong. So we have a new voicemail, and it is from none other than the mayor of Titty City.
Oh.
This is the mayor. I need all of you to show your little titties, and I need to see the nipples. I need to see them, and I want to see them today. Show the cameras your titties, John. Let's see your titties.
So the mayor of Titty City wants us to show our titties, and I'm wondering, Do we do it?
No,
Sure.
I'm
I'll
not
get my
doing
donut
it.
You should, you should show the camera your titties. I mean,
on it.
I'm,
Well, yeah,
I'm
face to face
camera
camera.
shy. I'll give you a little. I'll give you a little of the pepperoni nip here.
whoa,
Oh, damn.
whoa.
I told you, man. Fucking
Well, I put mine down. I'm done.
full pepperoni.
He doesn't get to see my nipples all day, but
I think he's referring to John's awesome side boob on the last YouTube episode.
oh yeah, there was comments on John's side boob.
Yeah.
Kevin, you got to show some side boob.
I don't have any.
Yeah,
I got a nice bagel.
Okay, well, speaking of titties and other things to be shown, recently Jake has. I didn't mention to him that I was going to do this, but Jake runs our website.
Okay.
He adds all the latest episodes to the website
Right?
on the day of, or at least that's what me and John thought. Until the other day when we decided to check the website and saw that we were about 2 or 3 episodes behind.
No,
Dude, we were definitely
we were maybe 2 episodes
18
behind.
was the last episode up. We are now on 21 is what we're doing today. So I had to go in and somehow, I've never used the site before, figure out how to add the new episodes, and did something that Jake said was nigh impossible to do, was add the YouTube videos to all the episodes.
Well, when I was trying to do it before, it would give me this crappy error message saying that because for some reason to try to link it to our actual YouTube page, it just didn't want to link up for some reason.
Not only was I able to link up to our YouTube, I was then able to add all the videos to all the episodes, and now I've divided it into 2 separate pages, so there's not 20 episodes on one page, it's 10 per page.
Wow.
And at the bottom of the page, you go to the next one. The website has really taken off after I took control. Also, Jake put in the wrong password, but that's a whole nother story.
I told you about that.
Okay, that's a whole nother story. We won't talk about
I
it.
didn't even know you had a website, so this is news to me.
TheCrowdedTablePodcast.com.
I'll be
Thank
sure
you.
to check it out after this.
Oh, thanks, man. So, I wanted to talk about something that it's sad that I have to talk about this first. This is the first thing I feel we need to bring up, and I hate to talk about this girl, but Ashley is the girl that in the beginning of this podcast, I was seeing her for like a month. We banged a few times, and maybe I didn't explain this back in the time, but I sort of took her, I didn't say take, but she was introduced to me through our friend Evander, a mutual friend, who met her on Tinder, and she gave him a blowjob.
So you were picking up.
The sloppy seconds.
Yeah, Evander
I picked up the Evander
Yeah.
sloppy seconds, but knowing that he hadn't banged her, I decided it would be my mission to fulfill the banging.
Okay.
Well, then we broke up. I was, for some reason, so upset about it, and now I'm so far over her. What we've learned in the past week is that she is a mega whore.
From what you've told me, I would have to agree
I
with
mean,
that.
I hate to do this because we talked about it last week about the stereotyping.
Yeah, the slut shaming
The
thing.
slut shaming. I hate to be a slut shamer, but man, this girl is thirsty for dick.
I think hashtag dong hungry is.
Dong hungry is the greatest way to put this. She is so thirsty for dick. Our friend Evander, he came up to me the other day and said, dude, Ashley won't stop texting me. Now, let's not forget that while I was seeing her, and you went out with me and her a couple
Yeah.
of times, she used to talk mad shit about Evander.
She did, and her friend too.
They all hated him. They were like, Evander's the worst. We hate Evander. And it was like,
I mean, I gotta say though, in her defense, Evander is a sexy son of a bitch.
He is.
all right, he is a very sexy guy.
He's-
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I would blow Evander too.
Me too.
So-
I mean, I don't think. I think you were out with us when I gave Evander basically a piggyback ride across all of downtown. I mean,
Well,
that wasn't for his sake.
that
That
is
was for me.
well, that wasn't Evander. That's known as Bo.
Oh,
I've learned that. Bo is
That's his alter ego.
that's his alter ego. That
I
is
never knew that.
that is Blackout Evander. BOE, Bo.
We got to
Oh.
bring Bo out again.
Yeah,
then.
dude, Bo is a crazy guy. So anyway, so he comes up to me and says, I have this text message from Ashley that I need to show you. And I'm like, I don't really want to see it, but I want to see
Yeah,
it.
curiosity gets a hold of you.
So she texts him, right? And she's like, hey, randomly, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm sick as fuck at my house right now. That's his reply. And she says, oh, can I maybe bring you some soup and maybe something extra? And I'm like,
Ooh,
oh,
extra.
what could that be? So then he writes back is, huh? With a question mark. And she then replies, I'm offering you sex.
Wow.
Just throws it out.
Just throws it out there. I'm offering you sex. What is it? I mean,
That's kind of cool.
what? I mean, it is. I'll be honest with you. If a girl texts me that, it's pretty cool.
Right. I wish that happened to me.
Yeah, it's nice, but I mean, like, just from her perspective, like, come on, dude, like, have a little. You're really just throwing it out there like
That's
that.
me. That's her saying, "I am so hungry for your dick, Evander. I will come to you."
I'm going to contract an illness from bodily
Basically,
fluid
so
swapping.
his response to that was, "I'm literally dying." And so she writes back, "So you're saying you're not interested?" Like she,
So even
That's taking thirstiness to a whole new
that
level.
is taking thirstiness to a whole new level. And what he told me was, like you said, that'd be hot if a girl sends you that.
Right.
But how many dudes do you think she sent that text?
right that day.
Yeah, that
Are
day.
you not jealous that the text didn't get sent to you?
No, dude. I'm so over her, and I'm already, like I told you, I'm getting laid in other areas right now.
Sure.
And at this point, I feel like we've essentially ghosted on each other. She doesn't talk to me anymore. I don't talk to her anymore. We're just out of each other's lives, right?
Which is for the best.
Which is for the best. And you know me, Jake. I'm a habitual ghoster.
He's king of the ghosting, and like if you don't know, ghosting is essentially when you and another person. I guess it doesn't have to be a girl; it could just be like a friendly relationship.
And
thing.
usually it's a one-way street.
Right, yeah. Usually it's not a mutual ghosting, but it's basically when you slowly back out of communicating at all, and like just the texts start to dwindle and shorten until there's just no contact.
Why even do it slowly? I subscribe to the philosophy of just fucking no more
Immediate
contact.
ghost. I've actually seen Kevin ghost on a couple of girls. There's one girl in particular that I know he used to be in love with, even though he wasn't.
Never in love with anyone.
He ghosted so hard, or maybe she ghosted on him. I'm not really sure. But so I just wanted to talk the idea of ghosting. Have you guys ever just completely eradicated yourself from someone's
Yes.
life?
Unfollow on Instagram, all social media. Just get the fuck out of my life.
See, I don't even do that. If I'm done with a person, I won't get rid of their number. I won't get rid of them on Facebook or anything. I literally stop responding. And
Yeah, me too.
I almost feel like I have a little sense of power.
That's it. You do.
It's like, yeah, keep reaching out, keep doing it, keep going.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's odd. It's an
You
odd
are
thing.
the one in control when you're ghosting. And my thing is, so recently with the girl that I'm seeing, I've been struggling. Last week we hung out and things got kind of awkward between me and her. And we sort of like, I don't know if it was on purpose. I mean, it definitely was. I sort of just stopped kind of talking to her for a couple of days. Like she would text me and I'd maybe give her like 1 word, 2 word answers.
Yeah.
I was sort of trying to ghost. I was trying to maybe a lighter ghosting, more of a phase out.
Right.
Just give her a little bit here, a little bit there until eventually I was gone.
Well, like ghosting has the opposite effect sometimes. It makes them long for you even more when you don't give them like,
that's
that
true.
attention.
They could interpret that as you doing like the old hard
Yeah,
to get.
playing
Well,
the
it's
hard to
it's
get.
great that you mentioned that. I ghosted really hard last year on a girl that I was banging, and you were actually it was around St. Patrick's Day, so it was around this time of year last year.
Yeah.
Where I remember telling you that I just straight ghosted on this girl, like straight up stopped texting her, and
Yeah.
she sent me like a 9-page text, and I just didn't
See?
I didn't reply to her.
Is that like that 15-year-old?
No, she was 19. I was 20.
14.
I was 22. She was 19. It wasn't that far off. I
Just
mean,
making sure. I didn't want to confuse them.
she sent me a text after I had ghosted and after she had sent me a long 9-page text. Then a couple of days later, she sent me, and this is kind of ties into Ashley's thirstiness. This was a thirsty kind of thing.
Yeah.
She sent me one of the greatest texts that I saved, and sometimes it boosts my morale when I
You
need
should
it.
read it like
Yeah, I do.
bad
When
day.
I'm having a bad day, I go back and I read this text. It says, I'm going to be straight with you when I say that I'm not sure if you just want to be friends or if you want to be friends that do shit. But to be blunt, you are very much the very best sex I've ever had, and I'd rather that not stop.
well, she was 15. You're probably the first one she had sex
Okay,
with.
come on, man.
It's easy to blow a 15-year-old's mind.
What the-
Kevin would know.
wow,
I wouldn't.
Kevin with the burners here. Wow, so no,
That is nice. That's a nice little ego booster. And then,
Yeah.
Any reply after that, or
I know I didn't reply.
just straight up no reply?
No, then I went to a concert and that she wanted to go to and pretty much ruined her night. But that's another story. So yeah, so that's the thing. And I don't really think that was so much thirsty because we were seeing each other.
Right.
So for her to then reach out to me and be like, hey, I still want to have sex with you, to me isn't really thirsty.
Yeah, that's a little different. Yeah.
The Ashley thing's a
Yeah.
little different. Like you haven't talked to Evander in months and you just literally were like, I want to fuck you.
Yeah. Maybe it's that haircut she got. She's
Oh.
desperate to get some affection because nobody likes
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because she looks like a little boy, except when I showed the picture to Kevin, he pretty much masturbated to it.
I didn't think it was that bad.
He's like, she's got nice boobs.
Do you think she still listens to this podcast?
Oh, no. No way. If she does, she definitely doesn't after this. No, I would think not.
I
would-
wonder if like after we put this out and we go back and listen to this, if we're gonna feel like we're like catty little girls.
We are.
Yeah. I mean, it's
mean-
fine if we accept it. I'm just, I'm thinking about the conversation.
Well,
we just
it's
had.
you know what the thing is, it's become a joke around the office at the station is that she's such a whore. I mean, I hate to be the guy who then has to go and say it out loud, but
Well, you started it.
yeah, maybe I did. I don't know.
that Evander snap with the mouth for eyes.
Well, I tried. Okay, I wasn't going to bring that up, but yeah, Evander sent me a Snapchat where they had the new filter where your eyeballs also mimic what your mouth is doing, and he sent me one with just his mouth wide open, and so it was 3 open mouths on a face, and it just said Ashley's regular night out. That's kind of messed up. We probably shouldn't have brought that up.
My
but,
bad, man.
Yeah, way to blow up his spot.
but whatever. So we'll move on. My love life is a little rocky because I was trying to ghost out on this girl, and then she ended up telling me, we decided to have the conversation. I did it. I asked her pretty much, are we in a relationship? What are we doing? Let's figure out what we're
You
trying to
should
do.
never be the one to bring that up. That should be the girl to do that.
I know, but I felt I was in a place where I was either going to ghost out or I needed to figure out what was on her mind anyways. And I felt like it was time for me to mature as an adult and do the right thing and talk to her first.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea instead of just letting the poor thing like dangle on the line.
Right.
Well, you also have to see her very frequently.
That's true. We work together. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then she hits me with this bomb. Literally drops a bomb. I called Jake. Jake was the first person I called, actually. Jake, I just
Oh,
went,
thanks, dude.
Yeah.
I appreciate. I figured you'd cycle through the whole Rolodex
Nope.
before you got to
You
me.
were number one because I figured you'd be working and I'd get a hold of you. She drops this bomb on me that at the time I didn't think meant anything. She tells me that she had over the weekend made out with some other dude that she worked with at her other job.
Yeah, that's
Which lets me know that clearly we're not in a relationship. We're not doing that. That's not maybe what we're looking for. And we are just having fun, which is cool. And that's kind of what I want, is to just have fun and do what I want. Maybe I can bang other girls. Like, it'd be great.
You seemed bitter about it.
yeah.
Well, that was it. So it wasn't until I left her place, and she was trying to basically beg me to stay the night, and I told her, like, I gotta go. And I came up with a great excuse that I didn't have a change of clothes, even though I totally had shirts in my car. I hope she doesn't listen to this. But I left and realized that bothered the shit out of me. And I know I don't really have a right to be mad because we're not dating.
right.
We're not in any kind of relationship.
But
But do you ever want to hear about a girl you're seeing
No.
making out with another guy?
yeah, and that's what like really makes me question whether or not there can be such a thing as friends with benefits or like just hooking up long term. Because I feel like after it gets beyond that like first week, second week, third week thing, you're gonna start to catch feelings no matter what. You know what I mean? So it's I don't know. I don't know if that can exist without either A, breaking it off, or B, turning it into a labeled thing, becoming an item.
Well, we know people who are in open relationships, like Spanish, for instance, but like from what I've gathered from him, it's one of those things where it's like you don't talk about it. It's out of sight,
Right.
out of mind. Whatever
Yeah.
you do outside of this, just don't mention it to each other.
Yeah,
Just-
because that shit hurts. I
Right.
mean, it never feels good to hear about your significant other or whatever it is doing something with somebody else. And she even told me, if I heard that you were making out with another girl, it would probably hurt me. And I'm like, damn it, I haven't made out with anybody else because I really wanted to like.
is that the plan now? Are you gonna go out chasing tail or what?
No, I mean that bothered me for a few days, and once again, at that point, I really tried to ghost out.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm really ghosting. Well, then, lo and behold,
mode.
Wednesday, I'm not reaching out to her or anything. She reaches out to me on Wednesday and says, what are you doing tonight? And in my brain, the demon came out. And I thought to myself, well, maybe instead of trying to be in this relationship, I should just continue to have fun. Because we never concluded with our conversation that we had what we were doing. She pretty much said, I need to think about it, which to me means she just wants to have fun.
Yeah.
And she just doesn't know how to say it.
I think, yeah, you should have never brought it up in the first place, the whole relationship.
It was for me. It was more for me than her.
I still think you should, because if you get to the point here where all of a sudden, even if you don't directly tell her and you hook up in any capacity with another chick and somehow that gets back to her,
Right.
that's going to blow up in your face.
Right. But now that we've
But
had
now,
this-
yeah, you can do that because she made out with a dude.
well, yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily like a tug of war kind of thing like that, but
I don't know, but just any kind of relationship with chicks, like logic just goes out the window. It's not about what you've like set out, what you've said, what you've declared. It's how they or even you feel at that moment, and
Yeah.
that can be what
I think
sparks it.
if this is like, are we dating or are we just fuck buddies? Because have you been on dates with this girl where you guys didn't bang, you just went out, maybe got some food or saw a movie or whatever?
yes,
Okay, never mind.
we have done that.
Yeah, see, they're dating. They just won't say it yet.
Right.
Yeah, we're definitely going on dates. We're dating, quote unquote, but we're not in a relationship. There's no labels, and I guess it's okay to do other stuff.
It's better off that way.
The long story short here is I went and hung out with her Wednesday, and then we went back to her place, and I stayed the night, and we banged, and I woke up the next morning, and I realized I didn't care that she made out with that other guy. I don't know if the sex changed everything. I don't know, but
Is this another 15-year-old that you're grooming?
no, stop this. I get enough from Jake about calling me a rapist. I don't need to be a pedophile also. So no,
Well.
so I don't know. I'm just saying that I don't feel bad about anything anymore, and now I feel like
Now he's just numb to the world.
maybe
Are we going out tonight?
it is Friday.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Yeah, we'll talk about it
Are
later.
you going to bring your girl?
I don't have one.
Yeah. So we always talk about Dennis's stuff. Now we get a fresh perspective.
We have a fresh perspective and a fresh
I
girl.
got nothing for you.
You have something. I know that you're sort of seeing somebody. I don't want to say any names. I won't even make any references.
I don't know how to define it because it's just literally just like hung out once or twice.
Okay.
And-
hung out once or twice. But I will tell you this, Jake, and let me ask you this. So you're hanging out with a girl. You both live with your parents because you're losers.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I move out in less than 2 weeks. Officially, I will be on my own. And then you can use my place to bang, Kevin.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So you're hanging out with a girl. You both live with your parents. You go back to either of your cars, doesn't matter. Whoever's car it is an SUV.
Yeah.
You then lay down.
You're getting way.
That's too specific.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking
I'm already too deep in it. You then lay down the seat.
about. Fuck you.
What does that mean to you, Jake?
So you're just laying there?
No, the seats are laid down now.
Yeah.
You got back in the vehicle and the seats are down.
Oh. I mean, that's game on at that point, right?
That's them's just fucking words.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what that. I mean, is, Barry White playing on the radio at that point, because that's the
No,
only way that
but-
could be more obvious.
Some Miguel in the background, maybe.
I can't talk about this.
Needless to say, they don't bang.
We didn't. I haven't.
Damn
We
it.
haven't banged yet.
See, I wish we could get a little more out of it, because it's
I know.
You know,
but
No, but there's certain girls where they're the type where you're going.
they're good girls.
Yeah, and you don't.
They're
wanna,
not. They're not. They're
No.
not the Ashleys of the world.
No,
you know?
she's not. She's not some whore who's gonna text you, about giving you a blowjob randomly.
That's true. So she's a good girl. She seems like a nice girl, and I think Kevin's gonna fall in love with her.
No,
We don't
Well,
know.
Not, I mean,
Have you guys had the conversation of what you're trying to
no,
do?
dude, it's so like casual and just like
But
just hung out a couple
Yeah, but
times.
see, you're looking surprised, but you know how Dennis is. Like, as soon as there's any attention thrown at him, he's
I
like,
know.
"Where are we getting married?"
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
the-"
I'm not. You think these things in your head. I'm just looking to have fun, keep things casual. Like I'm at a place in my life where I'm not looking for anything serious, anyways. So I don't even think about that
Hey,
kind of stuff.
I say that every week, and then I find a new girl and I fall in love.
That doesn't happen.
That's how it happens.
It takes a while.
Okay, let's move away from the love life. Let's
Thank you.
let's get into some stories.
All right, yeah, we'll get to the meat of this
Let's
thing.
make this a real show today. So, Easter is coming up on Sunday.
Yeah.
Easter
Oh, yay.
Easter traditions. I know that when I was younger, I used to go to church with my mom. I'm not a churchgoer. I'm not a religious person at all. But I used to even maybe when I was like 18, 19, I would still go just because like it's nice to do with your mom. But now I've come to the point where I'm like, Mom, I'm not going to church with you anymore. It's boring. It's like literally the worst hour of my life having to go and sit through like watching.
I had that conversation. My mom's like, was raised Irish Catholic, and I had that conversation with her when I was like 14, 15. Like, listen, I'm not going to church anymore. And I remember she forced me to go still, and I just ended up making a scene in the church.
Oh my dude.
What did you
You're a
do?
dick.
Dude, okay,
You start
so
masturbating up on the altar? What the hell?
nothing like that. Well, you know how like at a Catholic mass, like the priest will go up and do like a sermon or whatever,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and I was refuting the things he was saying, kind of out
Like out
to
loud.
out loud to myself.
So you were like a heckler? You were
yeah, a
heckling
little
the
bit.
priest?
I didn't shout it, but
The priest is up there like, and then we praise Jesus, amen. And you're like, fuck
I know,
Jesus.
I was
Whoa.
I was just mumbling stuff to myself.
And your mom was probably pissed.
She never took me back to church again after that. It worked.
That'll do it.
I mean, I that was kind of a similar thing of me. I didn't say anything out loud, but you'd get those thoughts in your head of like, God, what are all these people like?
Well, I would just be like a smartass. Like, when they pass around the money basket, I'd be like, Mom, why are they interrupting me with the money basket? I'm trying to sit here and pray. Like,
Churches need money.
exactly.
Wow.
But I was never really religious growing up. I mean, I've gone to a couple, Easter services or whatever. But I did go to one kind of interesting thing. It was a friend of mine. Their family went to this. I think it was an Armenian church. I don't know. But they had this weird thing where you have to go there. You have to buy a candle for like $10, which was kind of a ripoff. But then you do laps. You just do laps around the church, just walking laps, carrying candles.
What?
Yeah, it's bizarre. And at the end, they do this thing called egg wars, where you take your eggs, like everyone gets an egg, and like you take because one part of it's kind of pointier and the other end is kind of flatter.
Okay.
And so you take the pointy end and you attack somebody else's egg on their flat end, and whoever's egg cracks loses. And it's like a tournament style. It's like a bracket, and then the winner.
Hard-boiled eggs?
No, like raw eggs.
Raw eggs.
Yeah. So that's
That's like so that they're just like teach. Yeah, that's really bizarre. I'm actually what's
Actually sounds like fun.
the most bizarre thing here is the fact that Jake managed to get into a church without burning alive.
Yeah, it's true.
I was just on the outside doing laps.
He only was on the outside.
He was actually egging the church. He wasn't.
he walked in and saw the holy water and was like, I gotta get out of here. Well, there's a tradition. This is a Czech Czech. That's how you say that, right? Like
Yes,
the Czech
Czech.
Republic.
Yeah.
So this is a classic Czech tradition is known as Red Monday.
Red Monday. It just sounds sexy.
It is, and I asked this to Kevin about Black Friday. We all know is like awesome shopping discounts. Red Monday is literally nothing like that. So, I mean, why we make the comparison, I don't know. But Red Monday is the day after Easter, and it was a Czech tradition. It was the practice of men whipping women on Easter Monday.
And this still occurs?
No, this does not occur anymore. So the whip was called a pomlaska, and
wow.
the pomlaska means to make younger. So it was about fertility.
Oh, okay.
So-
So you'd whip them into being young.
Dude, I don't really understand it. to
Sounds
be
like
honest.
your kind of tradition already.
So the boys would make homemade whips out of like switches and other things, and they would literally go around the town and they would spank the women in a sense. This was supposed to make them more fertile. It was to make them a younger, more fertile woman, and then the women would in turn give you chocolate.
I'm trying to. So they go door to door, knock on the door. A girl comes outside and just fucking
You
bends
just
over,
beat
takes
her
the
ass
whip.
until she
Yeah.
gives you chocolate.
And then you walk away with your Hershey Kisses.
Well,
She'll be young forever.
so it was more in like rural areas. So I think they were probably out of their houses. I think they would all get out.
They probably
Okay.
gathered around.
It was
in
a
a
gather-
square.
Yeah.
It was like a Duck Duck Goose thing, but instead of Duck Duck Goose, you just go around spanking chicks, and then they give you chocolate. I mean, to me, it sounds like the greatest tradition. I don't know why we don't have it. And how do traditions like this even start?
I know that's that's what I love. I love hearing the different weird traditions from around the world. And this is like, that just sounds awesome. We should start it.
Someone was like, "Hey, you guys know it would be really cool for Jesus. Let's go spank all the chicks."
Jesus came back yesterday. Today we're getting whoopings on.
and then all the girls were like, "Oh my god, that guy just spanked me. What should I do, Mom?" And she was like, "Give him some chocolate."
Duh. What the next logical
So
response?
somehow that tradition has ended, but I think we should somehow bring it back. And
Yeah, we should try to create our own Easter tradition. Where the fuck does the name
what?
Easter even come from? Do you know?
It's the resurrection of Christ.
I don't.
That
yeah,
nothing
but-
to do with Easter.
I mean, that's the holiday, but the fucking name Easter. is
I'm
weird.
pretty
I have
sure
no
it's
idea.
like it comes from a pagan holiday, but I don't.
Yeah, well, yeah, like
Yeah.
every Christian
I
holiday.
don't
pretty
know.
much.
I don't know enough about any religions to tell you where
No.
Easter comes from, or why there's a rabbit, or why the rabbit has eggs.
The Easter
I don't have
bunny.
any of these answers, or why we should be spanking our women for chocolate.
I mean, but that part I think we should do every day.
Well, that's not sexist.
Yeah, well, every day. I don't know about that, but maybe just Red Monday.
Just Easter's.
That's how I send my wife off to work. She
And it
just,
just-
wakes up, bends over my knee, give her a smack on the ass. All right, go bring me back the chocolate.
It just occurred to me why they call it Red Monday, because you get that spank on, you leave that red mark.
Oh, is that it?
That's got to be it, right?
I'm assuming.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so that is a Czech tradition. Now, Kevin in our midst is Irish.
Very Irish.
Yeah.
Very Irish. I think I have some Irish in me because I usually have a red beard, which, by the way, I shaved. If anyone is watching on YouTube, they can see
Yeah.
that my head looks about 3 inches smaller just because the beard isn't
It
there
does.
anymore.
Yeah.
I think we're all a little Irish here. Pretty much everybody's a little Irish, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
But
Is John?
I'm very Irish.
yeah, maybe not John.
I don't know that John to be Irish. Shout outs to John Senning, who's not here, who's still sleeping in his room.
John is Iranian.
Hasn't even
pretty
said
sure.
hello.
He has not said hello. So there's this island. It's an Irish island. I'm trying to pull up the story because I didn't do this beforehand.
Say that
but
5 times fast.
it is an Irish island, and basically it used to have a thriving population, but the population has dwindled so low, it's down to 58 people live on this island.
58 people.
58 people. So what they're doing, what this island is doing to try and repopulate and try and get more people is they're trying to reach out to Americans. I got the story, Jake. So
Oh, you
I'm
did?
good here,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
So they're trying to reach out to Americans and say, hey, all you Americans that hate Donald Trump, when he becomes president, come to our island.
Move on out.
As if Ireland doesn't have its own economic problems.
Does it? Tell us all about Ireland.
I don't know. I just know there's problems.
Didn't you go? You went to Iceland recently, right?
I went to Iceland last summer, but I've been to Ireland 3 times. All over the country.
What is a typical Irish vacation?
Fucking stare at green mountains and sheep and drink
So you went
Guinness.
3 times for that?
One was a
I was about to say, it must the first 2 times
Well,
must have been all right.
you go to Dublin. I mean, there's a lot of history there. You see all these old buildings. You know, all the famous Irish poets.
Go see
But,
the Blarney Stone, all
the
that
Blarney
good stuff.
Stone and all that crap. But then basically it's like the biggest attraction there is the Temple Bar District. And it's just a whole square of all these old historic pubs. And you just go there and drink Guinness and sing along to all the Irish songs and all that shit. It's not much. It's just like a scenic country. You go around and you stare at the scenery. It's not much to do necessarily. It's farmland.
But see, that sounds really nice to me. Like
It is nice.
Just the idea of like, yeah, you get your bars, you can go and drink
Right.
and like, mingle with people. But otherwise, you're just out there like in the country, nice scenery, nice and quiet, fresh air. That sounds fucking wonderful.
And I will say, out of all the places I've been, Irish people are the most friendliest. Like they will strike up-
Really? 'Cause
Yes.
I feel like there's a stereotype that Irish people are dicks.
No, not at all.
no, yeah, I think it's the fighting stereotype. You're confusing
that's
the
what it is.
Drink,
Maybe
drink, 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 fight.
Yeah, is that a thing?
Yeah,
That's a song.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So, well, the island's called Inishturk, and I know Jake says he would want to live in the rural side of things. I know John has told me many times he wants to move to the fucking wilderness and live with Sasquatch. So I'm sure he would love to live on an island.
Right. 58. How big is the island? Does it say?
It doesn't say, but it's 9 miles off the coast. So that, I mean, it's like pretty freaking remote.
Yeah,
It's
it is
out there.
It is its own island. It doesn't say how big it is, but it says there's only 58 people and only 3 people attend the primary school.
Wow. Primary school's like their elementary school.
Is that what primary school is?
Yeah.
That sounds perfect.
So there's only 3 people in school right now. That, I mean, to me, I need the hustle and bustle of the city.
no.
See that, but I mean, I get that too. I get the need for that, but like, I would almost rather vacation in a city and live in the country.
See, I
Right.
see complete opposite. Vacation to the ruralness and you can hang out and really get the history and the mountains. You take all that in. You're living out there. You don't know anything when you go to the city. I feel like it's a culture shock.
Well, maybe, but nowadays, like I had this fantasy of like having a little cottage out, like in maybe on this Irish island. It's a nice, quiet cottage. I still have Wi-Fi. Like, you know what I mean? Like I could still Netflix.
See, this is my fantasy. It doesn't really involve Ireland, but just like,
Fucking a sheep.
yeah. Go, like, just fucking saying fuck it to society, going and getting a camper van, and just like traversing the deserts of America doing like peyote
deserts.
every night.
The deserts.
Yes.
I mean, that's whatever.
Well, yeah, dude, that's like a weird thing.
I had this fantasy multiple times a week.
Jesus, I didn't know this about Kevin.
It
He
might
just wants to go
happen.
take peyote.
Tell me, well, here's my other side to this. So tell me you've heard about the place in Alaska. It's the giant condo building. So, so there's this place in Alaska, and I don't have this story pulled up at all, but it's basically this huge, like 40, 50, 60 story building, this giant resort essentially.
Oh, I did see
and
that.
it's an entire town lives in there.
It's got like a grocery store.
There's
like,
a
on one
grocery
level.
store. There's a school. There's literally the whole town lives there. They do not leave the building. It's so big. It's like a giant condominium where they all live. Here's the thing. It's so remote to get there. You have to go through a tunnel. I was reading this the other day. The tunnel is a one-way tunnel. So what they do is every 30 minutes, they reset which way you're allowed to drive through the tunnel. So
Holy shit.
if you're there and there's 24 minutes left and it's going towards you, you have to sit at a red light and there's a timer and you have to wait for 24 minutes before you can go through the tunnel to get to this remote location where everyone lives in one building. To me, it's almost like a science fiction horror.
Right. That sounds like dystopian. Like that's
Yeah.
nuts.
So the idea to me is these people, let's say you're born there, you grow up, you live there your whole life, and then you're 30, 40 years old and you go out to like somewhere like New York or Las Vegas or
Right.
something. That would blow your goddamn mind. Every giant building you say, you're like, oh, that's another community. That's another settlement,
Wow,
right?
there's so many towns here.
You're just like, no, that's a hotel. You stay there for one night.
I
you
always
idiot.
wonder, like, people in remote locations like that, like, who are far away from hospitals and stuff. What happens in an emergency?
Well, I think there's a hospital
just die?
on their thing.
oh,
but
I'm
I'm talking about, like-
remote locations in general.
But, like-
you die. Yeah.
like that island in Ireland, like, if
Yeah, that's basically it, dude.
you just fucking.
I mean, I'm sure they have some sort of medical care there, but
Yeah,
but
they-
But what are you doing? Like, you can't go to the movies or go like bowling like on a random night. You're just stuck there on a farm all day.
Yeah,
What do you
that's
do in your downtime?
Yeah, that's the other
Exactly.
thing. I
That's
have to
why
see
I
what kind of
need-
There's
amenities
no
they have.
mall to go shopping at.
But the other thing that they were saying in the article about the Irish island is that they specifically want like families and stuff to come over. So number one, they can get the population up, and number two, they can actually start like building stuff there.
Right.
Because right now there's just not enough people to support.
But then
a
you ruin the
movie
vibe.
theater or you know what I mean. But I see an opportunity, man. Go over there with some money and build yourself a.
Well, like you brought up, when I went to Iceland, it's a big country, but the population's only I think it's no more than like the same as like Pinellas County.
Wow.
And it's just spread out, and there's multiple areas in that country where you're just driving for hours and hours, and you won't even see another car for like.
Yeah, see, that
Good
sounds
3
really
hours.
nice. Just like having
It
your.
is.
Which, by the way, speaking of your Ireland thing, I mean, I wish you would talk a little bit more about it so I can find this video that I have saved on my phone. Oh, I do.
Oh
I do have
God.
Kevin met a girl when he was in Ireland,
Iceland.
Iceland, wherever the fuck he was.
Oh yeah.
The girl who gave him some wise words about staying more than one night with a girl.
Advice I live by every day.
She pretty much told him. She begged him, please do not stay more than 2 nights with this girl.
I got the fuck out of there.
So I will. Hopefully, this will play through my speaker and we'll be able to hear it. But let me play it for you.
Another girl. Not the same girl. 2 nights. Please Please. Please.
What will happen after 2 nights?
She will take a cock and throw it to the sea.
That was just some drunk girl I met.
So we could just translate real quick. Please, don't stay with a girl no more than 2 nights because she will take your cock and throw it to the sea.
The reason why I recorded that is because she literally repeated that statement over and over again for a good hour and a half.
Dude, she's a median. She's letting you know. She's telling you, do not stay with a girl for 2 nights. She will take your cock and literally throw it to the sea.
Throw it to the sea.
I don't know if that's a metaphor for something. But,
I didn't touch a single girl after that.
Well, you haven't touched a single girl in months, guys.
Oh, burn.
Well, he hit me with the hard 15-year-old
That's
stuff
true,
earlier.
that's true.
So
Yeah, I deserve it.
I got to get back at him.
But speaking of stuff in the UK, there's a story we have here about this kid, 11 years old.
Oh, that was in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, like that little transition there?
Yeah, luckily,
I mean, you kind of
Well, Ireland's
interrupted
not in
it,
the UK.
Well, parts of it are.
Yeah.
I did pull up the story for this one, so I am ready. So this is, I don't know if you've ever heard of it goes under different names, the choking game, the knockout game. They're calling it the pass out challenge. Supposedly the pass out challenge, and it's similar to other games, is where you try to make yourself pass out, or you have a friend basically choke you until you pass out. I don't know why it's a game. It's the dumbest thing ever if you really think about it.
Yeah.
This 11-year-old boy, Devorius Gray, he died. And he says he played the game online. Now, to me, that doesn't make any sense. Maybe you're doing some sort of autoerotic.
Yeah. When they say challenge, like this whole thing, the cinnamon challenge, the ice
Every
bucket
week there's a
challenge.
new challenge.
Yeah, it's always an online thing.
And there's always something bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess. And I mean, he's a little kid, dude. I mean, if you look at that picture,
I know.
he's a little kid and he's dead. I mean, it's crazy. And so I wanted to ask you guys, if back in when we were younger, when we were teenagers, 13, 14, did you ever do anything like this, the pass out challenge?
I've never passed out in my life, but I've seen that one I was telling you about earlier where you stand against the where you bend down and you breathe in very heavily for a little bit.
Yeah,
and
Yeah, like
stand up-
hyperventilate.
Yeah. And when you stand up, you're supposed to
Get
pass
woozy,
out.
you get dizzy. Yeah, I've heard that too, and I've tried that before, and that's never happened. This never worked for me. But
I mean, I like to like spin around in circles and get dizzy and just like fall down.
that's different. It's very different. When I was like
I
13,
smoke a lot of weed and
when I was also different. When I was 13, 14 years old, we did that game. It was basically one person would stand up against a wall, and if you're watching YouTube, I don't want to really show how to do it, but I'm going to anyways. Another person would then stand in front of you and put their hands. Now you can hear my voice is changing. They would thrust your larynx or whatever this is back, and
It's your jugular. That's
yeah, and it would cut off, I guess, the blood or the oxygen getting to your brain, and you don't. It doesn't even hurt. You're standing there and you're talking regularly. You're like,
Yeah.
I don't feel anything. Nothing's happening. Next thing you know, you wake up and you're on the floor,
Right.
And you're like, what the fuck happened? So,
that sounds really fun. Like, what the fuck?
what
Why
desire?
would you even?
yeah, like
well, when you would have these, I don't know what the desire was, but when we would do it, you would have like sort of weird. You would dream for you would have these. They'd be like, you were out for 10 seconds, but you would have had like an hour-long dream. You'd have this weird.
this happened to you?
Oh yeah, I did. I used to do this.
So
yeah.
like when you did it, was it just you and another guy?
It would usually be a big group of us. Don't
your
try to
pants
turn.
were on?
Yeah,
Like, you're
I knew
off.
that was happening. It would usually be a group of people. The one that I remember the most, and this is where I feel like this is when this was the last time I ever did it, because I was like, this is dumb, and people do die from this, and you guys are going to end up getting me killed. I was standing. My friend was doing. It was just me and another guy. For some reason, we thought it'd be dumb. We were standing outside, and he was doing it against pushing my throat or whatever against a wall, and I guess I passed out. Well, I wake up face down into the concrete. I'm bleeding. My nose.
No one caught you.
My nose is all scratched up.
Oh,
I've got
God.
fucking cuts on my face. I'm bleeding. I just wake up crying. I immediately woke up crying, and I'm just in pain. And all I hear is my friend yelling in the background, "You fucking chipped my tooth! You fucking chipped my tooth!" And I'm like, dude, what is going on? That's I'm like 13, 14. I'm just crying. Supposedly what happens is he puts me to sleep, and my head, which was against the wall, shot forward and hit him right in the face.
Oh,
and
God.
so then instead of being, trying to help me, he just lets
just
me
lets
go.
you go.
Wow.
He just lets me go, and he said I went down. I hit we were standing in front of a car. My face hit the car, and then I fell down and hit just hit the concrete, just face first. So
That is like.
first of all, he wasn't a great friend. We're not friends anymore. I don't talk to the guy anymore. But
I mean, I think all kids like do stupid stuff that's dangerous, but like that is just so inherently like I don't know. I feel like
you're basically killing yourself for a couple of seconds.
right. You're shutting off the blood flow to your freaking brain. Like
Yeah.
that's.
It's scary. I don't know why people do it, and maybe I can be that voice to say, don't do it. It's not fun. I mean,
I've never been knocked out before. I don't know what the sensation's like.
I've been choked out before. I mean, I used to wrestle and stuff, and it's not. I mean, it's it's a super quick thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's you don't really notice it happening, but it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
Like in the movies, you see all the time. Like it's a big thing. You conk somebody on the head, and then all of a sudden they're out for the next half an hour, and you can drag their. If that happens, that person's in a coma.
Yeah.
You know, like in reality, you can't just bang somebody on the head.
Well, I don't know if you guys go to like World Star Hip Hop and those kind of sites.
Oh,
and
yes.
Yeah, I
like the
love
fight.
that's my
comps.
homepage.
Yeah, the fight videos. I just cringe when I see these guys get knocked out and the guy goes back for more and just starts fucking beating his face in while he's unconscious.
Yeah.
Like, how you can kill someone that way?
Oh yeah.
A friend of mine, his dad died. He was a bouncer at a bar, and some drunk asshole came and hit him. Guy fell back, conked his head on the curb, and was in a coma and died.
Okay, well, this has gotten really dark. And this has
Well, that's
been
why I stay out of fights.
This has been a very serious because you're going to kill someone or you're going to die.
I'm gonna die.
Okay, so this has been a very serious topic, but to lighten it up, and I know Kevin said he's never been choked out, but I happen to know some certain stories from Kevin. I think we turned this into a Sick Minds. We talked about it earlier of a rough sex,
Yes.
choking, maybe some spitting,
Scratching,
some scratching, some wax,
some
candle
slapping,
stuff,
a
some
little
slapping.
bit of Red Monday in there.
Just some just some rough housing. Let's talk about rough sex and what it is. I'll let you guys start, and I know Kevin has a story.
I do.
Okay, well, enlighten us, Kevin.
Well, so
Take us down memory lane.
It sounded like he surprised himself that he had the
Yeah.
story. He's like, "Oh wait,
Oh wait, I got something here. There was a girl I was dating, and we were having sex. Like the first couple times we had sex, like it was just very normal vanilla stuff. Like how you phase that
Yeah,
you're
you're
feeling each
feeling-
other out. You don't know what they're into
You're not
yet,
sticking your thumb in her
right? But with, after one time, I remember we had this conversation, and she's like, you can be as rough with me as possible. Like I really like.
See,
As
when
possible.
a girl says that, what does that mean?
I
That's
feel like
what
she's
I-
luring
yeah.
you into a trap. I
Yeah,
feel like she's
right.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, what does that mean? And she's like, well, I'm into like choking and scratching. Just toss me around.
I want you to pull my eyeballs out.
Right. So.
Would you get a melon baller and take it to my nostril?
And this was a first for me. I've never, up to that point, I'd never really done anything super rough like that. So anyways, the next time we had sex, she was riding me. It was cowgirl. And I decided to put my hand up there and grasp her neck.
Oh, so she was on top and you were choking.
Yes.
Oh, see, in my head, it was like a missionary.
I did it beforehand. I did it in missionary a little bit. And then I saw how turned on she was by it. And I was like, okay. And then, I was
and
getting
that turns
turned
you on.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
Anytime a girl gets turned on, you get turned on.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know if I can get down on that stuff, dude.
Well, so she's on top of you and you're choking her. Is she still alive?
Did you say jerking her? Or choking her, sorry.
Yeah, just jerking her off.
Okay.
I mean, I know you like lady boys, but
Right. This was a lady boy. So yeah,
I've been to Thailand.
she was riding cowgirl on top of me, and I had my hand up there, and I was just maybe I got a little firm.
no, can you show me on Jake how
Yeah.
hard?
Yes.
Yeah, because he's got
I got a big neck, but
he's
go
got a
ahead.
big neck, but
It was harder than I imagined. So I was like that,
Yeah.
okay, that's
and when you get into it, she's riding me, so I'm gripping harder and
oh
harder.
yeah.
And then I hear gurgling noises.
Go harder on Jake.
Keep going.
Ow, that looks like it hurts already.
I don't.
I feel it.
Yeah, I don't know how hard I went, but I heard
I'm a
gurgling.
little turned on though.
Yeah.
But
You heard gurgling noise?
Just like choking, and she's like,
oh God.
she's like
So you kept going.
well,
Oh God!
I didn't. She was just she started grabbing my thing, and I know if maybe she's she's having an orgasm right now.
She was grabbing your hand trying to pull it off.
And she's like stop.
Oh, so you stopped.
And I stopped, and she said she was on the verge of she liked it, but she let me keep going. And then she she started seeing stars. She said, and she was on the verge of passing out. But she said she didn't stop me earlier because she actually was enjoying it.
See, I can get behind putting a hand there and just having it there and maybe just a little pressure, but the
but
actual choking.
When you're losing your air,
That's something I'll never do unless the girl gives me permission to do it. I'm not gonna fucking put my hand around some girl's neck that I'm banging.
In my longest relationship of 4 years, where I did probably the freakiest stuff I've done with any girl, there was 1 or 2 nights where she told me she wanted me to slap her. And I don't hit women. My dad was an abusive father,
Yeah,
so
that doesn't turn me on.
I'm very against the abusive women. And in fact, so much so where she wanted me to call her dirty names, which eventually I was able to do. But there was the first time she wanted me to call her a bitch during sex. I was like, I can't do it. I can't bring myself to call you a bitch because I feel like I'm demeaning you.
You don't do that normally?
yeah.
No, well, we had a thing where bitch was really bad to her. So I was like, I will never call you a bitch. And I kept that promise except during sex when she wanted me to call her a bitch. one time she wanted me to slap her, and I'm like,
On
what?
the across the face.
Yes, and how do you gauge how hard you're supposed to slap the girl?
That's a good question.
You know, do I just like I get her like real good, or do I just kind of like? And so I just gave her little pats. You know, I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm not gonna beat her up.
you're just like patty caking her face.
Yeah, and
Clenched fist.
I don't really know what she wanted, and we never really did it again because I don't think it did anything for her. Like I think in the moment she thought like being rough would be hot. Like hair pulling. She was into that. And
Most girls.
I'm into hair pulling too.
What I found is most girls, even the shyest ones, they all want that kind of rough sex.
There's a degree of roughness that
Right.
they all want. Yeah.
But like light slapping on the ass, hair pulling, that stuff is just like kind of your standard, I think. But the choking, slapping across the face, I don't.
I'm not into that stuff. I don't know. There's something. It almost like turns me off to the point where like I don't know. Like I'll slap my wife's ass, and that's
that's hot.
yeah, that's okay, right? Like but anything beyond that, a little hair pulling too. That's fine.
that's hot.
But like anything beyond that, dude, it starts to weird me out to the point where like I get turned off.
Yeah,
by it.
because in a sense you're abusing her.
Yeah, I'm like I don't want to. Why would I want to hurt you? Like, but there's always that fine line between pleasure and pain. You know what I mean? Like, there-
Jake did tell me that when he bangs his wife from the back, she does have cuts on her back because he uses razor blades on her.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. After they get dull from shaving my face, I can just run them across. Yeah.
Just kidding.
That's hot. I gotta try that one.
Even the girl that I've been hooking up with recently, she's like I've explained before, very
Inexperienced. Yeah.
so I've started pulling her hair a little bit, and you can tell when you do something and it's turning a girl on.
Right.
So it seems to turn her on, and so then I have to ask her though afterwards. I'm like, hey, the hair pulling, you like it or what? And she's like, oh, I like it. And I'm like, oh, you're gonna be so dirty one
I'm
day.
telling you,
It's gonna be awesome.
Before you know it, you're gonna have her bent over a table counting the times you spank her, like fucking 50 Shades of Grey.
There you go.
That sounds pretty hot.
Okay, I might be in the minority here, but I also feel like it's very like to come on a girl's face.
It's demeaning.
It's demeaning, and it doesn't turn me on. Like as soon as I do, I'm just like, what the hell was the point of that?
Yeah, that's how it is. Like with a lot of like sex stuff.
I think it's a turn on for them a little bit.
Maybe.
Some of
No,
them.
whoa.
Some well, no, I've been asked like, hey, you can come on my face. I'm like, oh, okay. Like I wasn't like.
You take that up, Kevin. You do not pass that
I do
opportunity.
it for their sake, but it doesn't do anything for me. I already came. It's coming out.
Well, that's the thing. Like as soon as it seems like for guys anyway, as soon as you come, like you start to
that
switch.
oh my god.
Yeah, you're like, wait, what the fuck was I doing? Why am I watching a Bill Cosby porn? And why did that happen? Why did that get me up? But
Yeah.
It's like,
but
do
in the moment, you're like totally into it. Like, all right.
like, you want me to help you wash that off? Like,
Yeah, well, that's it. And the same thing with the girl who wanted me to call her bitch and a slut and a whore and names when we had sex. Every time we'd be done, I'd be like, hey, I'm really sorry for the stuff I said.
Apologizing
Don't
after.
take it to heart. Well, God, I'm trying to think of what I was going to say. So I like coming on the face.
Okay.
To me, I don't know what it is.
it's a power move, I guess.
I guess maybe it is a power thing, but I've always said there are 3 different dentists. There's the regular dentist you get, like right now. It's who I am. I'm outgoing. I'll say I don't have a filter. I say whatever I want. Then there's drunk dentist. Drunk dentist is just an extension of this dentist. He's a little louder. He does the same thing.
Yeah.
Then there's sex dentist. Sex dentist is a whole nother person. I don't know who that guy is. He does stuff and says things and just is a bad guy, I want to say. And
Goes directly to the butthole.
Does
dude.
sex dentist have a curly black mustache? Is that what you're trying to say?
maybe, I don't know what you're trying to say there,
He's
but
like your evil twin? Is that?
oh, well, he could be. Well, I pretty much pressured one of my exes when we were having sex one time to let me come on her face. I was like, I really want to. We had never done it before, the two of us. It's like, I really want to do this. And so she let me do it. And I did. And literally, it's like a switch. I do it. And I'm like, I start apologizing. I'm like, I'm so sorry for making you do that. I know you didn't want me to. Because she was like, I don't really want to. And I was like, please, I really want to. And she's like, okay, you can. And I felt so bad. I got
Why
a
were you
claw.
begging her for that?
I don't know.
What do you
dude.
get out of that?
That was
That's what I
sex
understand.
dentist. It's not regular dentist. Sex dentist really wanted to come on the face. I don't know what it was. I
That's why we forgive him for being a rapist, because sex
Yeah.
dentist is just a totally different guy.
Come on, man.
But yeah, like, so the one thing I do that I do enjoy as far as like rough sex kind of play is like when I'm jerking off, I will hold my breath.
Oh yeah, just like the story. So you knock yourself out.
No, not quite. I've never like seen stars, but it gets to the point where I'm like just
Yeah. At what point do you start holding your breath? Like when you feel like you're like, okay, it's about to happen.
Yeah, when it's go time, when you can feel that kind of pressure coming to a head.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm plugging my nose or like trying to tie
I just imagine Jake's like,
Yeah. A clothespin on his nose.
yes. He's got duct tape on his mouth. Fucking clothespin on.
No, he just keeps a noose on his round his neck the whole time.
But yeah, that's the fucking dangerous thing.
So
You
did
don't wanna
Robin
go-
Williams.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, that was too soon. Sorry.
Thanks for that, Dennis.
No, fuck
That's
him.
Good. But anyway, so Robin Williams is dead, and so is.
They're gonna see him in the background. Look, it's John coming out here just doing weird stuff. See you later.
God damn it.
Wait, I thought he just hung himself. I didn't know he was jerking
No,
off.
I don't. I was making a joke. I don't know what he did. I'm sorry.
Well, this was news to me. I didn't.
David Carradine did die.
Right, that
jerking
guy
off
from
a while.
Kill Bill?
Yeah. But
Well, they claimed that was ninjas, actually.
it could have been. But Rob Ford, mayor of Toronto, was it Toronto?
Way to just segment, man.
Died of autoerotic.
Well, I was doing a little transition, and John came and stepped all over
You're
it.
in the middle of a transition.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're totally-
Yeah, Rob Ford. He did pass away, and I don't think it was through autoerotic experience.
Yeah.
Although that can't be ruled out just
Yeah,
yet.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They really can't. I don't think there's been an autopsy yet, so it can't be ruled out. Now, I love Rob Ford. I think he's the most wacky, ridiculous mayor that's ever lived.
I think it's fucking crazy that he got elected for another term as mayor. Like, who these are Toronto people? Are,
I mean, Trump's doing pretty well.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like
Trump's
maybe,
not admitting to smoking crack.
maybe this is not like an exclusively American thing where these wacky people, maybe like everywhere around the world, we're just looking for a little bit of fucking spice in our life. I guess.
Well, I like Rob Ford, and he has said some outrageous things. And so now that he has died, Jake wrote out the word eulogy.
Yeah, I still think I misspelled it, but
You might have.
No,
but-
that's how you spell it.
you think so?
So we've decided to give a eulogy to Rob Ford. So I've got us some music here. So
I might cry.
I searched for a sad piano on actually I searched for sad music for death. And sad piano parentheses this will make you cry is what came up. Now I have all the things up here ready to read. I don't know if Jake wants to read them or
Yeah, no, you can start. I'll try to pull it up here.
okay.
and-
So I'm on the ABC News one because I think these are the best.
yeah.
Let me read you some Rob Ford quotes, Kevin.
Please do.
I do not use crack cocaine, nor am I an addict of crack cocaine. Here's another one. Yes, I have smoked crack cocaine. Probably in one of my drunken stupors.
That man is a mayor.
Here's one that was in response to there was accusations that Rob Ford had made comments about having oral sex with a woman that was not his wife. Here's his response to that. I am happily married. I've got more than enough to eat at home.
Oh yeah.
On live TV.
That's my favorite one.
Here's one. I'm not conceited, but I had sort of a rock star status there.
Okay, I've got one. Women love money. You give them a couple thousand and they're happy.
I think that's true. I mean, I think we can all
yeah.
agree on that.
Rob Ford, he was a
Visionary.
Ahead of his time.
I need your help to squeeze counselors to get the votes for a casino.
Oh, that's actually, I remember another one that he said I don't have pulled up, but it was something along the lines of,
Oh.
cunt. You have it? Yeah.
Cunt?
he probably did say cunt. But contrary to what many people said, I am not married to a casino.
He's not married to that casino.
Oh, okay.
He's married to someone who's getting enough to eat at home. This is probably one of my favorite ones. Let's get the sad music in here, please. It's very preventable. If you're not doing needles and you're not gay, you wouldn't get AIDS, probably. That's the bottom line. You got any more there? Because I'm running out of Rob Ford quotes.
I mean, there's a bunch here. I don't know how many of them are funny.
What's your question here, Kevin?
Remember when he did the Jamaican accent? He was
Yeah,
like,
he said, I got one here. He says,
Okay.
Bumbaclot man. I actually have a video. I might be able to pull that up if
that's my favorite Rob Ford moment.
My cable was out. I know as much as you guys know.
Oh, hold on. Let me stop the sad piano so I can maybe give you this. Okay, new video.
It takes me around 5 months, man. Oh my God, man. I swear, bro, for a minute, man. My eyes cloud,
What is he saying?
5 months, man.
That's Rob Ford? I've never heard.
Look at him right there. He's in like a
In a room with Jamaicans, right?
a KFC.
He's in like a fucking Pizza Hut.
Hiding here. I'm hiding here. Oh, we don't know. Faka.
Maybe I could play this with the sad piano.
There you go.
Bumaclaw. What is Bumaclaw?
I don't know. It's a Jamaican patois. What's the word? Patois?
I don't know. What is that? What is patois?
I'm really up on the Jamaican culture.
Okay, well,
Did you know that weed is illegal in Jamaica?
Yes, very much so.
I did not know that. Why? How does that even make sense?
I think they just turn a blind eye to it,
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that makes more sense to me.
sort of.
Okay, so that's the Rob Ford stuff. What else we got in here? Ooh, big question mark on there.
Rob Ford. Oh yeah. Do we want to do mystery topic? Is that? We should have the topic wheel.
What does that mean?
I don't know. There was just a space we didn't have filled. So we can end this show with a game,
Yeah.
like we normally do. Some sort of game, some sort of fun,
I gotta say, dude, last week's Dad Lib was that was a little rough.
dude.
Like
Dad Libs is
rough,
dead.
as in not good,
Not good.
or
Yeah, it's hit or miss, man. Sometimes I crack up.
Although I will say, a lot of episode 20, I feel we haven't gotten a lot of listens as usual because of spring break these past couple weeks.
Yeah.
And with Easter Sunday being this week, this show might not get a lot of
you
listens.
know, people who still you bang all these 15-year-olds that have spring break.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
I'm talking about our listeners. They have
Fuck
kids.
knows that. Who gets spring break anymore? We're all adults.
Our listeners have kids, man.
Oh,
Their
yeah.
kids get spring
That's
break
true.
and they go on vacation and they do stuff.
That must be like so. Like I used to love, the breaks, spring break and Christmas break, all that as a kid. But yeah, now that I'm a little older, my parents must have been so pissed when that came around.
Why?
Because your ass is at home with
Yeah,
them.
because all of a sudden,
I guess,
they
yeah.
have to be watched.
Well, yeah, episode 20 was really good. I was very happy and very pleased with episode 20. Dad Libs didn't work. Dad Libs is dead. Unless we can somehow come up with some way to make it fresh, make it fun. I don't know what that way is. Dad Libs is now dead. We will not do Dad Libs unless we come up with an idea. If you have suggestions, please reach out to us on Twitter and let us know. Anyways, but I do have a game here that I have set up for us. That is, I'll have what he's having. This is a game we've only played once before. Don't look at my computer screen. Or you?
No, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to.
All these things are labeled very,
very clearly.
yes.
I think I'll be good at this.
Okay, so
I know my drugs.
I have 4 clips. All these people are taking the same drug. So we'll listen to the 4 clips, and then you have to try and guess what drug it is that person is taking.
All right. Are these all Rob Ford?
It would be great if they were all Rob Ford. Well, hold on. Let me restart. So I'm going to play the first clip
Can you
here.
explain the rules again?
We play clips, Kevin, of people freaking out on drugs.
And I got to guess which drug it is.
Right.
All 4 on different drugs.
No, they're all on the same drug.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, he thinks it's too easy.
You think that's too easy?
No, just fucking play.
Well,
the clip.
maybe next time we do it, we'll switch it up and we'll do different drugs every time. It's just easier for me.
I don't want to be cocky.
All right. Let's start with the first clip here. Very disturbing. I'll have you know it's
some kind of bird.
not a monkey, it's not a bird. That was a human. Here's number 2.
Back off of Cam.
I got him, man.
Oh my god!
He's fine.
He's fine.
fine.
It's fine.
Really?
How'd you get a camera in my house last night?
I just want to mention the last time we did this, the drug was bath salt.
Okay, yeah, I'm at a disadvantage because I don't know what drugs you guys already done.
We've only done this one other time, and it was bath salts. So
Okay.
these people are not on bath salts. Although I will tell you, a lot of their reactions are very similar to the bath salt reactions. So,
Yeah. God.
clip number 3.
Is that a Wookiee?
Could be.
T Swift in the background?
Maybe.
I don't believe this is happening.
I love the side characters in all these.
Yeah, what good friends? They just video.
You're all right. There's always
Everyone's like, "You're okay." You're like, "No, they're not."
no. Okay, and so the last one, and this is probably my favorite, and it's pretty explicit as well.
Don't say it yet, but do you have an idea of what they're on?
Can I ask a question? Like are any of these people in the video naked?
Oh, that's a good question.
One of them was shirtless, but I think he was just shirtless before he took the drugs. So,
Okay.
Okay.
So no, I would say
Good
no.
question.
None of these people were naked. But that is a solid question. Last clip, most explicit clip as well.
Nigga, is you drinking it?
Because they say the N word. So
Hold on, man. Hey,
Are you drinking?
Hold on, man. Bro.
on, man.
Hey,
Get off me, man.
hey, dude,
Get off me,
chill, man.
Get off me, man.
Hey,
my hair on fire.
My hair's on
My
fire.
hair on fire, bro.
You chill, man. That ain't nothing but a vape. Ain't
My
nothing
hair
but a
on fire.
Ain't nothing but a
vape. That ain't nothing but a vape, bro. That ain't nothing but a vape. That ain't nothing but a
My hair
vape.
on fire, man. Move, man.
That ain't nothing but a vape, bro. Man,
Can I ask a question? Is his
are really
hair actually on fire?
man, this nigga tripping for real, bro.
No, he's just tripping. So what
He's
is
just tripping.
His hair is not on fire. No.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they make vape pens really strong now these days or something?
Any more questions? Do you have any more
Okay,
questions?
so
about-
none of them were naked.
none of them were naked.
And that
Because, well, like, there's certain things that make you feel like you're
right,
heating
you
up.
feel like you're hot. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Like, so I think PCP's out.
Okay.
yeah. It's just like every single one of them was screaming.
I'll tell you this: PCP is out. It's not PCP.
Okay.
All right, good, sweet.
So we could do that. Reverse elimination. if you want.
Yeah, you want to
Yeah.
do process of
Well, there's a lot of
elimination?
drugs out there.
But yeah, that's my big thing is like it seems to have like everybody screaming. Like that last one
Right.
was actually saying words, but all the rest of them were just like moaning, like they were being I don't know.
Well, I will tell you, the first three people, the way they took the way they ingested the drug was different than the last guy.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, because he sounded like he's
says,
like, "Are you drinking it?"
Yeah.
What the fuck do you drink that makes you act like that?
Right. Oh, okay. And it also seems like it's like more of an upper than a downer because these people.
I think I know what it is. Okay. So I bet you the first three, it's salvia. The first three people smoked it. The last guy made a tea out of it.
Oh, that's a good call.
Because what else can you drink that's like, I mean, mushrooms don't do that to you.
Well, let me ask you this question because, well, it's not really a question. I'll tell you what it is at this point, but then I need to ask you because salvia, I don't necessarily know. Is salvia at all similar to spice?
And it's somewhat.
Because these
I've
people,
never tried
these
spice.
people
it's
are on.
kind of insane. It's spice.
It's spice is what it is.
Really?
Yeah. Well, so the first, and you're right. The first three people smoked it. The last guy, I think they did it through like a water bong or something, and maybe he like drank some of the liquid. I don't know.
Oh, what the fuck.
Dude, that's fucking bizarre. Because like
Or
spice
it
is-
was like a vaporizer or something they used.
Yeah,
It
maybe-
affects everyone differently, I think.
But yeah, but isn't it supposed to be like basically fake weed? Isn't that
Right.
what the
No,
aim
but
of it
dude,
was?
like I heard like
I've heard that you have a shorter trip, but it's very intense.
that's salvia.
Okay. Well,
Spice is just like, well, you don't know.
sorry,
you
I'm not
get-
the drug expert.
well, no, like there's no like one set like strand of spice. They're all like wherever you go and get it, like every batch is different. Like it's
Right.
all made by
Well, that's
different people,
like ecstasy.
and all
Yeah.
different chemicals sprayed on it. You have no idea what the fuck you're getting. So
God, that is-
you might get like a batch that makes you mellowed out, but then you might get a batch that makes you fucking scream your head off.
That does not sound fun to me, and that crap is expensive, isn't it? Isn't spice
I smoked K2 one time.
What is that? What the hell is K2?
K2 is a specific brand of spice, right?
It was like fucking rolling up potpourri and smoking it. It tasted horrible. It just gave me a headache, and it was nothing like that happened to me. But it just like a really like slight buzz maybe, and then a huge migraine, and that was
Like,
it.
that sounds painful.
Did you ever try K3 or K4?
No, never up the level
None
there.
of the sequels.
Well, I'm just wondering, maybe they made a better batch that isn't so shitty.
Yeah, that's I don't know, dude.
I don't know. Salvia is supposed to make you like fucking out of your mind for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, my wife has tried it. Yeah, she said she's tried a whole bunch of stuff, but she said she won't do salvia again.
Again, after like seeing people's reactions and hearing stories, I have no desire to like fucking experience that.
Didn't Miley Cyrus do salvia like on tape?
Dude, what is Miley Cyrus not doing nowadays? I mean,
she's on The Voice now. I saw the commercial. That's exciting.
She did salvia while like fucking taking 2 dicks and
yeah, I could talk about how
blowing
much I hate
coke.
Miley Cyrus, but I'm just not going to do that right now. So that we made it through an hour. We did a full show here.
Oh wow.
We stumbled through it a little bit. We had a brief guest appearance from John. Just came out naked.
Yeah, that was just that's a video cameo.
was a
If you-
cameo.
If you go and watch the YouTube, there is some point, I think it's around like 55 minutes, John steps out.
If you watch it, he's just kind of hazy as he's walking by. It's-
Similar to actual Sasquatch. He makes a blurry appearance in the background. So I mean, that's the show. It's been an interesting one without John. He normally leads us along, and today we kind of together we stormed through it.
Together as one. And thank you to Kevin for coming in.
I'm honestly, I'm flattered and surprised you guys asked me to be back. You know, I love you guys. so.
Well, I only really wanted you to be here for like 15 minutes, but then when John pulled out, I was like, I guess we need Kevin.
I know I wanted to fucking leave earlier, but I don't want to say anything.
But yeah, I guess we'll wrap up the show then. You can check out our newly revamped website, thecrowdedtablepodcast.com, that I, Dennis, have gone in
He's commandeered it.
and fixed a little bit. And I'm not commandeering. I'd rather you still do it all, but I'm just saying that I've spruced it up a little bit. You can find the show on Twitter is probably where we are the most interactive. That is at One Crowded Table. You can find, normally he's here, John, on Twitter at the John Sinning. You can find me, Dennis, at Dennis_sucks.
You can find me at TCT_Jake.
I got nothing.
Yeah, Kevin, I don't think has a Twitter.
Twitter.
You don't have a Twitter. He has an Instagram.
Actually, I do have a Twitter, but it's like I don't use it.
Okay, well,
I don't want followers or anything, so don't.
okay, fine.
Don't follow me.
yeah.
Oh, dude, by the way, my grandma has like, she has more followers than me now.
Oh, wow.
Like, she's been watching Fox News and like tweeting all the correspondence. And
Oh,
it's-
nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Really?
That's cool, man. Your grandma's really popular, man.
more so than this fucking show.
So anyways, shout outs to, we always give Ryan Redbeard a shout out
Yeah,
for
of
making
course.
our logo.
Yeah, Soda Pop Tees to get a t-shirt.
The t-shirts, yeah, just find the
My
link
man
on-
Ian Sharks, aka Ian Irish.
Yep.
Or Ian Irish, aka Ian
Sharks. Just
I love you, man.
Shout out to Sharks, all right? Well, actually, we're thinking of having Sharks start calling in for life advice.
Right, I thought I was gonna call the dong. You know, he's like my fucking my dude for life advice.
Let's one last thing before we go. Let's shout out the Dong line. You can call us. Please leave us a voicemail. We love to play them. If you have questions for life advice, we can then give those to Ian in a bit if we ever make this bit. 813-867-DONG. That's 3664. 813-867-DONG. Leave us a voicemail. Or maybe I'll pick up and talk to you. I don't know.
Do a lot of people at work at the station listen to this?
I mean, probably more than you think.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yep. All right.
Brad.
When we will see you guys
Next week?
Next week.
Yeah. All right.
You must be a radio station, and who are we? We must be a #1 song spinning all day long, and over again, and over again, and over again, and over again, and over again. And we don't win when we call in, and nothing's free. Sounds to me like State Farm Radio, 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 State Farm Radio.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Take them table scraps. Take them. You don't have your headphones on.
I don't have my headphones.
But Kevin has his headphones on.
What's table scraps?
You never made it to the table scraps?
I don't. I did this one time.
Yeah, but you've never listened, you dick.
I don't think I've ever listened that far.
Table scraps is
Sorry.
That's true.
No, I love you. You know
Kevin
you love
has told me that he never makes it all the way through.
Oh, dude.
I'm like that with everything though. I can't sit there for an hour and listen to something.
I got this.
What are you trying to show us?
It's this fucking mega thread of like all the centerfold. Oh no! It's not.
Oh, too bad. So,
Oh.
what is it?
It was all the centerfolds from Playboy from like the 50s to present.
Ooh.
There were some
So bikinis?
ugly chicks in Playboy back in the day.
Those are my favorite.
Anyways, the table scraps, Kevin, is after the ending song, we have extra audio. It's like a little extra piece. It's
It's a little treat.
Why don't we talk shit about John?
oh, that's good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I will.
Did you notice how big his nipples were?
Well, he does have big nipples. You're
Oh,
right.
I am
It's-
not
it's,
one to
It's the
talk.
large areolas, is what it is.
Oh, I got pepperoni nips all day, dude. I'm not one to talk.
His are like burnt pepperonis.
Yeah, they are. They're so dark. That's because Club Tan has really fucked him up over the years.
I'm still convinced he's like some kind of like Indian or something. Maybe he's Bangladeshi.
He does. He has something.
I would assume. I thought it was like an Italian thing, but I don't even know if he's
Is he Italian?
I don't know.
I don't think he is.
I don't know his races,
Italian's not a race.
his ethnicities. I don't.
Yeah,
Is that-
yeah. That's more like it.
I guess you can make an argument that. Never mind.
I think you could make an argument that it's.
Well, true white supremacists would say that Italians aren't real white.
That's like Jews. Are they a race or a culture?
Or like a religion.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It's a mixture of all
religion,
of them.
It's a religion and a culture, and their culture
I
dictates.
don't know if they're a race though.
They are. Well, they
In
sort
a
of
way.
are because number one, they were concentrated regionally, like in ancient days, and also their culture promotes marrying within the community and within
This
the
isn't.
faith.
This isn't funny.
Oh, it's supposed to be funny.
You just got enlightening.
Sorry,
I thought this was a political talk show.
I'm really up to date on my my Jew info.
You really are. Well, it turns out Jake is Jewish, and now we all know.
It's fascinating.
If I had to pick a religion, I might be Jewish. I kind of like it. I kind of like a religion.
If I had to pick a religion, I
Praise
would.
Allah.
I would pick the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh yeah, did we want to mention Brussels at all? Let's just
terror
not.
attacks. I
It's
mean, we
gonna
can
get-
say right now, sorry. Love.
I
our
don't
love
want
to Brussels.
people to think I'm fucking racist. So
So our love to Brussels.
Yeah, yeah. Peace and love to
Or are you going to say you
Brussels.
hate Brussels?
Well, it's gonna get into refugees and all that bullshit. So
No, it doesn't have to. You just say our thoughts and, well, we don't pray.
I don't
but-
I don't have any thoughts. I thought about it for 2 seconds.
I'll
and-
change my Facebook profile picture for you. Brussels.
Well, have they done anything like that?
Yeah,
You know,
I think so.
because you know how like the France, they did
Yeah,
like
they did the red, white, and blue.
did they do anything for Brussels? Because normally
Belgium
you see...
Belgium is what they're like.
It's similar to Germany.
Yeah, but they're
Like-
vertical stripes, so
Yeah.
it's red, yellow, black. I think.
Yeah, it's the same thing. as
I don't
Germany.
know.
Just-
I haven't seen anybody with new flag profile pics, so maybe
No one
nobody
gives a
really
fuck
cares.
about Belgium.
Apparently, nobody cares. All right, I guess we can...
Was that it? Was that table
I guess that'll be the table scraps.
You're welcome.